kia ora ki a koe e te whananga. Mōrena.
Morena ho.
Mōrena. How are you? Peana.
Kia ora.
Kia ora. Kia ora, Rich. Hey, thanks. I know that you've been around for a long time now. Tell us a bit about yourself and some of the stuff that you've done.
I hail from Whangarei, Mangakai in particular, my whakapapa. I was born urban Māori. The urban Māori was Pukimero Māori settlement in 3 Mile Bush.
Okay, yeah.
Circa, it was social engineering by the government of its time, 1952. The settlement I was raised in was pan-tribal.
Okay, yes.
A lot of people like Isaac King, as an example, Kaio, the Allens, the Parkingas, these are some of the names, the Duns. These were all we were all the children of the fathers of that village. Half of them were DMOB 28 Māori Battalion A Company.
Okay.
So it gives you an indication what that village, what conditions a village like that created, really. A lot of them came back with post-trauma.
Yes.
So as children, we were raised amongst them. We played war games. There was a lot of German souvenirs in our village at the time. Us kids used to tahai a lot of it, a lot of medals, service medals on walls as an example. So, and that lets you know that basically I wasn't raised in a traditional Māori environment, hapu or marae based. Came back to my rohe, which is Poroti, under the instruction of my mother. My mother wanted me to come home and help her people, which is on my mother's side, which is further down the valley, Pakotai, and my father is Poroti, Patatiti. So I'm in this valley, being brought back to this valley, and I'm a double barrel. I'm from the head of the valley and the tail end of the valley in genealogy. She handed me the whakapapa books that she had inherited from her mother, my grandmother, Te Terehia Kuha Tani Ora Pareumu. That gives you some place names. My father, he was a netana in Whatatiri, and I actually returned back to my father's hokainga. And basically, like I said, my mother handed me the whakapapa books, which are original books, handwritten by our tupuna. And she also handed me the original Mangakahia Tribal Committee books. And you can see that this weight of my responsibility suddenly changed in my life.
Yes.
And when your mother tells you to do something, and she hands these taongas to you, you're trapped in a world beyond you. So, I have the benefit of all of these taongas. And basically the journey is a way to a journey. It takes you down avenues and ways, hills and lows and troughs that I'm sure a lot of other urban Māori returning to their historical roots are going to encounter. So that's my rendition of my beginning on my journey to discover what it is to be a Māori.
Tēnā koe te whananga, ko tāma nei te whananga nei Bryce. Kia ora, Bryce, morning.
Tēnā koe,
Bro,
Cyril.
come a bit close to the mic, my bro.
Kia ora.
How are those roads?
Yeah, no, it was good. My horse come across a bit of a muddy patch there over the hill, Cyril. So I had to stop and eat some of that beautiful mongamuka grass. But we katai mai.
Tēnā koe, mihi atu ki kia koe. What a surprise to see the brother here today.
Kia ora.
Yeah, nice. So we've got our whananga Bryce in the whare. I was thinking about it last night, Bryce, and we normally do this on the phone call. A lot easier. And I said, man, he's in person tomorrow. What am I going to do? I can't have all those expressions that he can't see anymore. And so, hey, welcome to this little kanga, Bryce. And you normally lead this take, Bryce, something important take for all us to think about. And I know over the last, and I was just talking to our whananga here, Richard, about the journey he's been on way back in the times, and of course, very similar to us. I came home, I was only 21 when I came home, and been home almost 50 years now. And like you as well, Bryce, it's a whole other space. And for lots of our whānau who actually left the homelands, and it was to find the gold, find a better life, eh?
Kia ora. Yeah, even my father did that when he was young. He moved down to Pukekohe first and foremost and worked in the gardens down there, and he spoke about that quite often. And when I came about into the family, I remember a place called Takahue and the school there, and I believe the last student to be registered at that school before it shut down.
Okay. And
that was pleasing. And then we moved out to Palmapuria, and then the different places that we went to, but always enjoying coming from the city as a child to that muddy place called home up north. In the middle of winter, under a tarpaulin in the old milk shed, and introducing the land, I guess, Cyril, from a kerosene lantern to a gas lantern, and all those, they were amazing little milestones that the land had to adapt to. So, and the metal road, and suddenly it's got tar seal on it, and the old farmer that was there. But coming home was, I think, for all of us, coming home is always like you said, Cyril, a totally different space. Like we call it mud, but it's whenua.
And all those hardy cousins, all those hardy cousins were there. We used to come home. We weren't raised here, so we'd come home to our papakai and Magataipa, meet all our hardy cousins, man, and we'd have all this fun that we never got to have because we lived away from the papakai.
Yes. Kia ora. Yeah, the creeks, playing in the creeks, jumping on the horses. At Takahue there, I remember an occasion where a boy Yates, and we used to hang out with his kids, Mark and them, and we ended up with one of the boys' shotguns, and we were down in the river, and that's how we were eeling. We were watching the eels, and boom, off went there. We got throttled when we got home, by the way. Cyril, but those were the fun things that happened when you came home.